Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy Keefe-b, you know what I'm saying? Today I want to talk to y'all about street life and why I believe the streets is a myth and why gangs was probably the biggest detriment and destroyers of like impoverished, like lower poverty, lower middle class communities and like black communities, you know what I'm saying? So first off, I just want to say this is coming from somebody that grew up in the hood all day life. This is coming from a place of understanding, somebody that experienced and participated back when I was younger, you know what I'm saying? So this is coming from just my observation of growing up in those type of environments and my total understanding looking back on it now as a grown man, you know what I'm saying? So let's get into it. First off, I just want to say the streets is undefeated. You know what I'm saying? The streets is probably 1,000,000,001. You know what I'm saying? 1,000,000,001. You know what I'm saying? Not too many people really beat the streets. You know what I'm saying? As those most of you already know, it's only really two end outcomes of being in the streets. That's either one, you gonna die. You know what I'm saying? We all got a date that we gotta go, but being in the streets, you gonna definitely accelerate your process. You know what I'm saying? Checking out this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Two, you gonna go to jail for a long time. You know what I'm saying? A real long time. You know. And at first, it might start off as like petty biz, a day here, a week here, a month here, a couple months, stuff like that. But eventually, maybe a year or two, then eventually it's gonna turn out to you spending the rest of your life in there. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? If you want either or you interested in either of those outcomes, you know what I'm saying? Be my guest, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead and hop in the streets, you know what I'm saying? But to me, those don't sound too appetizing. I done seen it happen to too many people I know. So, you know, the choice is yours, you know what I'm saying? Also, too, a lot of people think there's unwritten rules to the streets. It's really, there's no rules in the streets. The streets is bar none. The streets don't care about you. The streets will eat you up and chew you out. You know what I'm saying? Your own people will change on you. Your own people will try to kill you out of jealousy. People will try to rob you. You know what I'm saying? And not only that, people will snitch on you. You know what I'm saying? You think you and your homies gonna go do a crime, and let's just say y'all facing a lot of times, you think he's not going to tell on you to save his life, to get back to his regular life, you know what I'm saying? You sadly mistaken, you know what I'm saying? Or you might even try to tell on them to save your life because you thought you was built for the streets, but you're not really built for the streets. And at that point, your career in the streets is over anyways for ratting. People still going to try to kill you. It's over before it even started, you know what I'm saying? And not only that, bro, there's cameras everywhere, you know what I'm saying? So we in the future, bro, if you think you're going to do a crime and get away with it, your cell phone got a GPS on it. There's cameras all over the place. You can't do nothing without getting away with it. Eventually, you're going to get caught. And if you don't first start off getting caught, eventually you will get caught for doing something later on down the line, you know what I'm saying? So there's no loyalty in the streets. There's no love in the streets, you know what I'm saying? And there's no long-term money in the streets like you think it is. You know what I'm saying? So if you think any of those rules exist, they don't exist. So you might as well just not even jump in. You know what I'm saying? So three, I'm going to say the streets cause mental illness, and I think it causes PTSD. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, you know what I'm saying? I was maybe 9 years old. Like, my neighborhood I used to live on, it was like a real hot block. But I was a little kid staring out my window seeing people get shot. And to me, it was exciting. It was like a movie to me as a kid. I used to just stare out the window and just watch different type of activities go on. I was seeing people get shot, all type of crazy madness going on that I probably shouldn't have been seeing as a kid. And who knows how that may have affected me, you know what I'm saying, as an adult. Also, too, you're going to lose a lot of people in the streets, you know what I mean? I lost my best friend. He was stabbed to death. I was either 16, 17 or something like that when it happened. But that changed the way I looked at life. That changed the way I looked at the streets forever. You know what I mean? That definitely changed me forever. You know what I'm saying? That was a very traumatizing experiences seeing him die so young. You know what I'm saying? Because he was full-fledged in the streets. You know what I'm saying? But he had a good heart. But that was just our environment and our surroundings. And I'm pretty sure now, if he would have got to live to the age that we is now, I'm pretty sure he probably would have changed the different directions. But he got swallowed in too fast. You know what I'm saying? He got swallowed in way too fast because a lot of times growing up in these neighborhoods, bro, it's like there's no fathers around. So we looking up to the drug dealers. We looking up to the scammers. We looking up to the killers, the robbers, because that's what we see when we go outside. You know what I'm saying? There's no millionaires on our block. There's nobody doing anything positive. And when you a kid growing up, you think that's the right thing to do. You get trained, you get molded in the streets before you even know you getting molded in the streets. You might grow up in a certain neighborhood. Y'all shaking up the gang hand sign before y'all even become official members. You grow up fighting people from other schools, but really you don't even know they eventually become gang members. Y'all grow up fighting. Them fights turn to stabbings. Them stabbings turn to shootouts. Them shootouts eventually turn to people dying. And before you know it, you wake up, you in a full-fledged war without you even realizing it. You know what I mean? Because it's just being a product of our environment. And then we grow older and we try to justify these things that we go through in the streets because we've been doing it so long that it becomes the norm. And really, it's not the norm. You know what I'm saying? We shouldn't be out here killing each other. We shouldn't be out here robbing and stealing. But I understand because that's what's going on in these neighborhoods. We just had to adapt. You know what I'm saying? Like me growing up, personally, I was a good kid at first. You know what I'm saying? I'm still a good dude, you know, as an adult. But growing up, I was a good dude, but people kept picking with me and kept trying with me. And even as a kid, I used to be like, damn, why is these kids so aggressive? So eventually I had to get aggressive and adapt to the environment just in order to survive. You know what I'm saying? So I understand how it goes. You know what I'm saying? I understand firsthand how it goes. And I'm just saying, like, you know what I'm saying? A lot of the times, too, with these gangs and stuff like that, you know what I mean? Gangs, you know what I'm saying? They started off, like, I'm not saying gangs is a bad thing because they started off as good causes. They were to protect the community and stop outsiders from coming in and destroying these communities. You fast forward 60, 70 years later, those same type of morals and principles, they do not exist. It just turns to people killing other people that look just like them. You know what I'm saying? And when you really think about it in the end, all this shit is really some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? If you a GD and he's a Vice Lord or a Stone or something like that, y'all lit is the same, really. It's just worded different. It's really the same shit when you think about it. If you a Crip or you a Blood or something like that, y'all really the same. The colors is just different. It's all the same shit. We killing each other over nothing. It's like, it's really pointless. You know what I mean? If you gonna claim these organizations, either go back to what it was originally started for or just leave that shit alone. You know what I'm saying? Because it's really just became a detriment to these communities and stole too many lives, bro. Like, it's like I know at least 30 or 40 people I done grew up with that done lost their life for nothing. They jumped in the streets, and it's like looking back on it, they didn't even get to live that long. You know what I'm saying? They was living fast. They might have had some fun, but I bet you if they could look back on it, they'll say, man, this shit wasn't really worth it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people left their kids out here. A lot of people died before they could even have kids. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just tired of seeing the cycle and seeing shit like that go on. You know what I'm saying? It's really a dead end, bro. I would not recommend it. But if any of those things excite you and you think that's something that you want to get into, you know what I'm saying, be my guest, but I would not recommend it. My advice to you is if you do live in these environments and you have no choice or you feel like it's no choice, I just want to let you know there is an end to this. You know what I'm saying? You could make a way, create a plan, and try to escape this. You know what I'm saying? You could become something positive from these environments. You don't have to become a casualty or a victim into these coming from these environments. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I really got to say, man. It's your boy Keefe-b, man. I hope y'all enjoyed my take on growing up in the streets and why you should not jump head first in the streets, man. So that's all I got to say, man. That's all love. I'm logging out, man. Y'all be blessed.